Liverpool lose 3-0 to Manchester City. I'm not happy. It was an awful performance. First off, to relapse, to deteriorate after a period of improvement. So Liverpool, who were 2 wins out of 2 great performances in a row, suddenly decide, yeah, today against Manchester City, I'm not turning up. I'm not turning up. That's what they decided. And after 2-0, it feels like they gave up. It feels like they gave up on the pitch today. That's what it felt like to me. At 1-0, felt like we still had a chance. Of course, Virgil Van Dijk's disallowed goal, definitely, which I'll definitely talk about now, never in their life have been disallowed. I don't understand how on earth they disallowed that. It doesn't make sense to me. Does not make sense to me at all. But after surprisingly today, I just look at the lineup. I agree it's the same lineup as Real Madrid, but I just think Arne Slot's in-game management from this year to last year has not improved. He's only got worse. This has been our worst performance in a while, a long time. So I'm just thinking, like, today, if you had to pick out the best player of today, you'd probably have to go to the goalkeeper. You'd probably look to the goalkeeper that saved us on a couple of occasions and saved the penalty, of course. Like, honestly, I'm looking at the team, I'm thinking, who performed today? Not Salah, not TK, not even Szoboszlai, not Wirtz, not McAllister. After two games of great performances, you play the same team against a top team like Manchester City. Of course, Manchester City are a top team. They were on in that first half. They were having chance after chance. Change something. You saw after that first half it wasn't good enough. Why would you continue? It was 2-0. Change something at half time. You have to go for it now. Why go for it 60 minutes in? The game was pretty much over. Like the minute TK came off, and of course 56th minute you could see the minute TK came off. That was, I feel like, the moment where I thought the players could. Of course, you think about players like Alexander Isak and honestly, if he's fit or is he ready to come on? Of course, he didn't come on. Chiesa coming on too late on the pitch, 83rd minute. Curtis Jones, I thought he came on too late. But when you're chasing a game, why on earth do you make these late substitutions? When you're chasing the game, when you're trying to win it, when you're trying to get an equalizer, when you're trying to get at least a goal back and get yourself back in it. Because Manchester City are good, but let's be serious. We were 1 point behind. We were 1 point behind them for a reason. Because they're not that good. We showed them too much respect. Way too much respect. Honestly, Konate, has he checked out? I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna disrespect players like that actually, because after the last 2 games, Konate, you were absolutely aerially dominant. Even the first 20, I'd say before the Haaland, of course, goal, you were aerially dominant. You were winning headers, doing everything you can in the corners. I felt like the goal was definitely coming, but that was way too easy. He got out. It was so easy for Haaland to score that. It's way too easy. Way too easy. And I just think, like, how on earth it was just floated into the back of the net. It was way too easy. You got out muscled for that header. You should have won that. And I'm honestly, I think I need to talk about that disallowed goal more, because that changed the game for me. That changed the game for me. That is daylight robbery. I'm gonna be so real. It's daylight robbery. How PGMOL and the referees believe, they look at the rules, even though to be honest, the rules are definitely wrong in that situation. Because Donnarumma was never in his life getting that goal, he wasn't getting that. Even if Robertson is in the way, in an offside position, which he ducked away from. Even if he's in an offside position, Donnarumma is never in his life getting that. And that is a massive 3 points for Manchester City, who go, 4 points behind Arsenal. I agree, the season's far from over. But I just think, if we had that goal, the game switches like this. The game flips. The game's flipped suddenly now. And because of that, of course, that dagger late on in the first half, Nico Gonzalez, and which deflected off Virgil Van Dijk, so unlucky. So unlucky. But again, it was our undoing that caused that. It was our doing that caused that. It was literally us not performing throughout the 45 minutes caused that. Scoring from a set piece doesn't mean you're performing. I think in that first half, I think Virgil was playing pretty decent, but I just think we weren't attacking as a team, as a unit, like we were against Real Madrid, like we were against Aston Villa. The press was different. Look at what they said. Look, I want to show you exactly what they said about the Van Dijk goal. Look at this. Sorry about that. The referee's call of offside and no goal was checked and confirmed by VAR, with Robertson in an offside position and deemed to be making an obvious action directly in front of goal. Directly in front of the goalkeeper, sorry. Obvious action clearly impacts on the ability of the opponent to play the ball, while offside offense, just making an obvious action, as claimed here, is not sufficient on its own for an offside offence. This is the FA rules. What's going on? The referees are useless. This is the same. I think Michael Oliver was in VAR when in the last City 23-24 City game, when Doku just did a high foot on McAllister and we could have won the game, and with the penalty in the box, we could have won the game, and it was 1-1. High foot like that in the box. I thought they would have given it. They checked VAR and they didn't give it. It's not VAR that's the problem. It's the referees. It's just it's literally the VAR just shows the most incompetent referees. It just shows how incompetent the referees are. Every single week in the Premier League. It just shows how incompetent they are. How awful the referees are. Because they are. They're awful. Let's be honest. I'm just gonna be honest now. Like, English referees have been, this is I want to say it's the worst they've been, because God knows Fergie was controlling those referees 20 years ago. Like, this is bad. It's real bad. Honestly, the referee's been. And yet again, it's like we go to the international break with a loss. 2 weeks we have to sit on this loss. And honestly, feel sorry for a player like Mamardashvili, who probably had his best game individually, and he just got moved to by Manchester City. Absolutely done. Been undone here. undone. But honestly, just tells, honestly, this photo just tells you everything. Tells you all you need to know. Tells you all you need to know. Awful refereeing, changed the game, and we lost. Honestly, we lost 3-0. Not just because of the awful refereeing, because we've been awful ourselves. Let's be serious though. We're just awful. Awful performance. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, of course, if you're not already subscribed. Like, share, and subscribe. This is Straight From Musa, and peace.